Hello, my name is Omar Rampersad. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019 at 4:21 p.m. in Toronto. And not sure what's going on with my camera. The timer is not on and it just, my picture just disappeared from the screen. So I'm going to, hopefully it's on. It's going to come on eventually. I'm going to show you today's tagging. I'm in pain. That comes and goes. Sometimes intense pain. And as you can tell, the tagging is intense right now. Power is turned up. Certain spots are tagged. So the left side is tagged with less power than the right side. Left side. See the brightness? And the other side. So there's a whole lot of power on the right side, on the right jaw. My neck is sore. The obliques. High power. The other side. The breast. High power. The breast. The heart area. The heart is tagged. I'm getting pains on right above the heart area. I just took my pressure. It's a little bit high. I do have magnets on me, on my back, because it's so sore where the spot is continuously tagged. So my heart is tagged. See right there? See right around the breast is tagged. Right there. And right there actually is hurting. And the back. The leg. The thighs. Right down to my toe. So entire body. So I just took my pressure. And I'll show you what the pressure was like today and last night. So that one was just now. So it's 4:25 right now. This is 3:47. 1:53. 1:12. 12:33. 1:50. 9 o'clock, 9:17 a.m. So I woke up in pain. $7:53. That's the second. That was yesterday. So that's yesterday. So that's the normal reading right there. That's normal. So this was during the night. So that's 12:41. a.m. So this was 3:08 a.m. This is the 1st of April. And that's the 30th. So that's a sample of the 30th to the 3rd. As you can tell, some days I was in a lot of pain and some days I was not. So, I was not as much, I should say. So I'm doing this video not only to show you the fluctuations in the tagging that's causing pain that is reflected in the blood pressure readings, because when there is no signals, the blood pressure is absolutely normal. And this has happened over and over and over and over and over and over again. When there are no signals that I can detect, my blood pressure is absolutely normal. Now, let me just touch on one topic that I think about when I do these little experiments. There is another rollout of, I should say, a rollout of another system called 5G that the phone is going to be using, and they're talking about 6G already too. So the 5G is using another wavelength, a radio frequency, another wavelength in the radio frequency band, which is shorter. So it actually goes through objects. It's pretty much, it's going to make you share everyone. And it's going to allow self-driving cars to operate on the road. So these signals have to be has to be transmitted and received in short distances. And in order to do that, they've got to use the new set of frequencies. And those frequencies interfere with our bodily, our body cells. Well, let me rephrase that. The cells in our bodies, it interferes with the activities of those cells. So we're going to be getting all sorts of diseases as a fallout of that. But of course, there was no discussion about any of this before the rollout of the 6G or the 5G. The 5G is being rolled out, excuse me. The 6G is being talked about. So as far as I know, there was no public discussions asking for public opinion input, any studies being done about the biological effects of these frequencies on living organisms that I know of. I could be wrong. If anybody knows about them, then do your own research and find out. But if if there is research out there in the public domain that was solicited before this was rolled out, then just drop me a link, or a comment, or a tweet. But this is something that people should be thinking about, because it's a fact. There is no dispute about it. There is no question about it. It's an undisputed fact that these frequencies cause changes in the way our cells operate that causes cancer. So there is no question, absolutely no question about it. So what I'm demonstrating here is most likely what is going to happen when the 5G comes along. In order to have cars talk to each other, self-driving cars, these signals have to be used, and they have to be boosted. So it has to be strong signals sent and received in a short distance, so the other object within the range has to receive those signals and make sense out of them. So the signals are going to be boosted. So we're going to be living in this system where the signals are high all the time. As I demonstrated with the cell phone, the signals come in and then it stops, then it comes in and it stops. So it's not a consistent transmission. But when 5G and the higher range of frequencies are used, then we're going to be living, constantly living in this environment, this powered up, for lack of a better word, environment, with all of these this radiation around us that changes our bodies and causes cancer and diseases, all sorts of other diseases like diabetes, weight increase, cataracts in your eyes, cancers in your eyes, because your eyes, I was reading only this morning that the eyes, unlike the other organs in the body, do not have the ability to deal with heat that's caused by the radiation. So it causes cataracts as a result, and of course other diseases. So, because I get flashes in my eyes all the time, and I have floaters, and I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna have eye surgery pretty soon. But this is because my eyes are targeted. My eyes are always pulsed while I'm sleeping, especially because I'm in a stationary position and it could be focused in as I sleep. I've measured this. I've demonstrated this on videos when I wake up, of course, but happening right before I wake up, because I wake up in pain. Soreness in my eyes, redness in my eyes, tearing up, burning sensation, itchiness. So anyway, so that was something I wanted to talk about. The fact is that right now I'm talking about being targeted, and I'm a target. But pretty much everyone is going to be subjected to this torture, whether they like it or not. So in a sense, everybody's going to be targeted. But right now, it's just focused on, it's the building is just focusing on Omar Rabasad, because they think that Omar Rabasad used to be a prostitute and some sort of big criminal, and we want her out of the building. And I heard that my name is on the no-fly list, on the terrorist list, and on the FISA list, and what utter complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. I am just somebody who believes in human rights. I think human rights, well, not I think, I know that human rights are, we are born with them. We don't ask for them. Nobody gives it to us. It's ours just simply because we are human beings. It's that simple, really. We have a right to live our lives. We have a right to a clean environment. We have a right to good health. We have a right to be educated. We have a right to be treated with dignity and respect. And women, especially women, let's focus in on women especially, have a right to be treated as equal to a man. Different, obviously, but equal. Different doesn't mean inferior. Different is just that, different. You're equal, but different. So I'm not, I'm not this person that's being painted that the perpetrators and the harassers are painting. It's just the opposite, the complete opposite. I don't believe in violence. I'm very well aware that that the perpetrators are trying to incite me to get angry. I deal with it by venting. Because if somebody is hitting you and your hands are tied behind your back and you scream, of course you can't hold the screaming against the person. The person is screaming because you're hitting them and they can't fight back. This is what torture is all about. But the people well, I should say some residents, not every single one of them, in building 25 here in which I live, they want to torture me, physically harass me, verbally harass me, stalk me, flag me, which is harassment in itself, putting my life in danger, and at the same time want to drug me to keep me quiet about it. This is the agenda. I have to be drugged or I cannot be let back into the workplace. I heard the comment by one of the harassers. Something is wrong with me and I have to be controlled. And in order to do that, I need to be drugged. I don't believe in violence. Violence solves absolutely nothing. When I do get angry, I tweet. And I think a tweet is a million times more powerful than any physical act of retaliation, other than in self-defense if somebody's physically attacking you. A tweet, one single tweet, is a million times more powerful than any physical reaction to this type of harassment. So there is no violence. There's going to be no violence. All the people are constantly trying to incite me into anger. Things that's being said in dealing with the anger and dealing with the emotions as a result of being harassed should not be and cannot be held against the person saying it. But this is exactly what's going on in this building. I just had two neighbors stand outside my door and talked about the report that they have about me circulating in the building and outside. That the court thinks that something is wrong with me and I'm mentally ill and whatever else the court thinks. Obviously, there have been submissions about me in the court, so there is public information which explains the harassment. And they're trying to trigger by harassing me at my door. Instead, what did I do? I tweeted. Of course, I'll never open the door because that's probably exactly what they want. They want a confrontation. This is probably exactly what they're trying to get. This is the kind of reaction they want to get. They would have liked me to open the door and confront them. This is exactly why they're doing it. Instead of doing that, I tweeted exactly what they were doing and what their intentions were. More powerful. Everybody knows what's going on. So there is no emergency here. There is no danger of anybody being violent, because I heard the comment by the woman, we're scared of her. That's a lie, because they're the one who's harassing me, and I'm suspecting they're the one who's actually logged onto the system to remotely assault me with laser-like technology and microwave technology that's being used to track by turning up the power. I should be scared of them. I am scared of them, which is why I tweet. Because they could pretty much kill me while I'm sleeping by turning up the power. And I just demonstrated what it means to turn up the power and what happens by the readings and the blood pressure, blood pressure readings that I recorded in my monitor. That's what happens. I could get a heart attack and die. I can get an aneurysm while I'm sleeping. I could get a stroke. Any of those things will kill me because I live alone. So while these same people are calling the cops saying, gee, we are worried about Omar Rampersad, she's living alone and she has nobody cares about her, they're the ones who's perpetrating the crimes against me, because they're the ones who want to have control of me because they want to pimp me out. They're pimps. They want control of me, my asset, so then they can have monitors monitor me anywhere I go, which is really a cover for trafficking, looking at me share, and pulsing my genitals with the same technology. This is why they want control. This is why the perpetrators are insisting that something is wrong with me. The underlying reason is They want control in order to sell and traffic, to create a level of slave that people can access and use their bodies for sexual pleasure. In fact, I suspect that these neighbors are actually accessing me and remotely raping me as I sleep at night. Because there's been other comments made by a woman who's been living here for quite a long time and who's been stalking me in the building for a number of years now. Talk to you another time.